If you are a Hardstuck solo queue diamond player, this video is going to redefine how you approach ranking up in Apex. No, the answer is not just more playtime or squatting up. I'm going to show you meaningful changes you can make to your gameplay right now that will actually win you more fights and consistently get you to end games. To do this, I'm going to analyze some of my own solo gameplay and go in depth, pointing out the mistakes that cost me games and the successes that allowed me to win. However, this video won't just be a learning opportunity for you, but also for me. The truth is, I've never actually hit Masters myself, but I've played Apex for 5 years and decided enough is enough. With that being said, the purpose of this video is to point out my own flaws for the betterment of both you, the viewer, and me, the creator. And I promise, you will not be disappointed because I discovered a bunch of easy to fix mistakes that have been holding me back from finally reaching my goal of Masters as a solo player. Okay. I want to make this video fast but comprehensible. So, in order for you to get the most value out of what I'm about to say, I need to add context by explaining a few ideas and concepts. First, you need to understand that real improvement only comes from the right mindset. I cannot stress the importance of consistency enough. Your goal should be longevity, but not in the sense of raw hours. I'm talking about consistency across weeks and months. What this means is making sure that you're in a good headspace and properly warmed up before starting each session, and are spending consistent amount of time every time you clock in and out of the game. The reason this is so important is because improving at Apex is the exact same process as improving any skill. You want to maximize your odds of continuing day after day, week after week, because everybody wants to get better fast, but the truth is improvement takes time, meaning success actually comes from outlasting the competition. Think about it in terms of fitness. If you work out every day for 1 hour compared to once a week for 8 hours, not only will a guy who worked out for 8 hours straight begin to lose his mind after hour 2, he'll have to wait a whole week to challenge himself again. And by the end of week 2, he's already dreading week 3, causing him to quit. Do you see what I'm getting at? The key to improvement is challenge, which leads to failure, which leads to reflection, and reflection then leads to learning, and finally, application. But you need rest, you need breaks, because you need to last in this game as long as possible. I want you to internalize these steps because having the right mindset is crucial to actually improving, not just at Apex, but at anything in life. Let's move on to the technical stuff. So right now we're kind of going here with the intent of fighting the team that landed here.
I remember my goal is to not overextend and to take good angles.
You hear me say right there, one of the biggest tips I can give is having a game plan. Every single game that you play, you have a thought in your mind at the very least of something you're trying to improve on or work on. Because if you are mindlessly playing games, you've already lost. And you're not going to be developing any new skills. So it's really important that you always go into every game with a plan, a goal, or an idea. Right here, you can see I open the door and I go to the left. This is one of my first mistakes I make this game. And it's not a big mistake, but it's something to take note of because it could have gone really bad. I open the door thinking to clear the angle, and what do? I completely slide out into the open. If there was a team up here or here, I mean, I fully slide out. I'm dead. Fully dead. So it's just thinking about scenarios like these where we are going into this monument with the goal of fighting people, right? So I should be expecting there to be people at every possible angle and playing under the assumption. And this is not meaning that you're sitting in a corner, crouching around, clearing every angle methodically, but it does mean you don't run out into the open like this without at least looking for half a second. To be fair, I didn't hear anybody, so that's probably why. And you could also say that I was trying to bait by opening the door, see if they shot. But if it was a good team, they would have waited until I was out in the open to shot me, and I would have died. But there was nobody there, and so I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and rotate up.
Should not need that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hit this.
Yeah. Teammate comms that he wants to go hit that. Meaning the beacon. And these beacons are so important in ranked games because you want to always be acting off of information. You don't want to ever just be blindly going anywhere after, the first ring. You want to have as much information as you can. So you're going to see, I'm going to open my map instantly and I'm going to look around. I'm not going to assume this is a solo because this team could be in Mirage Etoile. I'm going to look down here as well and I notice there's a full team at the tree. And it looks like one person here, but there's probably, I know for a fact because I've watched this, yeah, there's more, full team over here as well. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, this team right here, they could go in this way, they could go in this way. And so this is where I'm kind of starting to think, okay, do we want to sit here and wait or should we just go ahead and rotate? There is a lot of information available online, and I'm definitely not an expert, but what I can tell you right now is if you don't already know, the way zone pulling works is it favors a side of the map. So basically what this means is that wherever the first zone pulls, the second zone is going to want to pull within that same direction, within the same quadrant. So let's say the zone looks like this, right? Sorry. Say the zone looks like, Say the zone, I just did this earlier. What the heck? It was so much. Oh, it's because it's smaller. Okay. Let's say the zone pulls like this. Okay, this is terrible. Say the zone pulls like this. Okay, this is still really terrible. You can't make it any bigger? Hello? Are you serious? This shit is so ass. So let's say the zone looks like this. If you look at the map in quadrants, it favors this quadrant, which means that it's not going to pull over here or down here. It's going to pull up here, and so that leaves us with either trial chambers or skyhook. Normally, if you scan ring console at the end of first zone to see second zone, it can actually tell you where third zone is. So for example, if first zone looks like this and you scan it and second zone looks like this, you see how these are touching? It's a pretty good indicator that third zone is going to be something like this, also touching. All right, Pathfinder comms right here that he wants to use the beacon, and this is a really pivotal moment because the information that we gain from the scan will dictate how the rest of this game goes. And the reason for that is because the decisions you make at the beginning of the game are the most pivotal for your survival for the rest of the game. It makes the most sense, right? If you die at the beginning of the game, you could get no RP. If you die at the late of the game, you get a lot of RP. So it's really important here that you think about what you're going to do next and you don't just blindly run into a fight or do anything. You want to think.
Here I go. Competitor there.
Yeah, it looks like they might be coming over here.
Opponent in the distance.
So I notice that they're landing down here. The first thing I want to do is try to get a position on these walk-ups. Most likely they're going to walk up over here, and so I want to get an angle over here as soon as I can. And this fight, I think this is really good. I am happy with how I play this right here because you see how I have this really tight angle against that wall, and you see that? Perfect angles. Get the crack, and he panics. He kind of runs out that way. He's low. I get him low, and the seer finishes the job. So we already have a knock. At this point, we literally just have to push.
Then.
Damn.
Get the scan. Notice how I don't just go barreling in. I'm going to kind of hold this angle, try to pop my ult here. Because the last thing I want to do right now is give them a free knock. If I let them kill me, this fight is completely even again. And we've lost our advantage. Fighting in Apex is all about maximizing your advantages and capitalizing on your enemy's disadvantages. Using your abilities, you want to use your abilities to create advantages or minimize disadvantages. I want to use your positioning to do the same thing. It's all about making it easier for you to win and harder for your enemies to win. So unfortunately, my ult just absolutely kills itself. And the Pathfinder really almost sells right here, actually. He does exactly what I didn't do and what I was purposefully not doing, and he just slides right in, doesn't try to take any angles, doesn't try to play with any cover, and you can see he gets shot by both of them and instantly goes down. Thankfully, I hit my shots on the seer. We're also both shooting the seer, and we get the seer down, and now it's a 2v1, and he's kind of already low. And this fight, it's over. You could argue that he was trying to do that on purpose. If he did, it worked really well. But we definitely could have won that without anybody going down because we had the advantage. So now that we've won our first fight, the next thing on my mind is how are we going to rotate? How are we going to rotate to the next position? What is the next position we're going to rotate to that's going to give us the most options? Because you always want to be you don't want to ever back yourself into a corner.
To be the bait.
You're good, bro. You're good. So in a second here, you're going to see I'm going to open my map, and I will start to think about where we're going to rotate. All right, so you can see it did pull up to Skyhook, and this is sometimes it's really hard to tell. This zone, it's hard to tell. It's like so perfectly split down the middle, you can't really tell whether it's pulling more skyhook or more to epicenter. But in some areas, some games, it'll be like first zone is all the way touching like this, and you just know end zone's going to be acclimatizer. Highly recommend going and watching videos about that. Learning about how the zone pulls, it makes rotating so much easier. You have to guess so much less, and you can guarantee yourself at least decent positions where you'll be less likely to be caught in the open trying to rotate, because you'll just know where to go. So right here we have two options. We can either go up through landslide or we can go through monument. I don't want to go too into depth right here about this because I think it's a hypothetical. We knew earlier that there was a team rotating up through here. Theoretically, they could be in landslide trying to hold us. There also could be a bunch of teams over here rotating up, and we could get caught in the crossfire trying to get up through here, because this is a really big choke point. But this is also a big choke point. You see what I'm saying? And this is a choke point. There's a lot of kind of either way you have to go, there are choke points. I don't think there's going to be anybody here, so we'd be safe probably all the way up until about here. And then this whole area, if people are rotating in front of us, we could get caught in a weird fight. So it really, I know at the start, you can see here, I'm looking, I'm thinking.
I got an evac. Unless there's a... Well, we could take this.
And I actually favor going to the right. Got to get back to that. So I actually favor going over here. But then I'm not thinking about the utility. My teammate comms. He's about to comm in a second. He pings that survey beacon. I didn't really pay attention to it, but another one right there as well.
I got an evac. Unless there's a... Well, we could take this.
If you have an evac, we should...
right here.
Okay. And I ended up deciding that this is a better option. Does it really matter? I don't think it does. All right, editor cutting in here. I actually want to interject because I do think it matters a lot. And what I want to point out that I didn't think of when I was at least recording this video, but I was thinking of during the game, is the amount of space. If you look down at this left corner of the map that we're wanting to rotate through, there's not a lot of space here for there to actually be teams, right? If you think about it, there's only so many POIs over here that teams could have rotated through to get up to this spot. Over here, there are so many more POIs, which means that it's a lot more likely for this side of the map to be more congested. It's also a lot bigger side of the map. So basically what I'm saying is, if we were to go this way, there's a higher likelihood for there to be more teams over here trying to rotate in through these choke points, versus over here, there's a lot less likelihood that we would meet, any more than 1 or 2 teams, versus over here, there could be 3 or 4. But then again, you just don't know, right? You just don't know. We also have more util, so we end up, this area over here is going to be really congested, and we might be better going over here, but I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. I completely take that back. Let's go this way, because I'm thinking about that survey beacon. Also, I thought about it a little more, and I just was like, I don't see how that area could be congested. Most likely, anybody in that area would have rotated up into Skyhook. And if any area is going to be congested, probably it would be Monument, because it just would be. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but we'll see. I know I've been talking about things I've done good right now, but there are definitely some big mistakes in this game that I want to talk about. No, let's get right. Let's go over here. So we end up deciding to go this way.
Raising a nitro gauge. We will not let off the gas.
All right. There is a team here in landslide, and there's a lot to talk about in this team.
Above?
So Pathfinder comms above. Like people?
Yeah. People like in front of us.
This is kind of the first mistake. You can see I'm already kind of just walking. If I were to replay this again, I would probably sit right here and I would look up there or up here. Because when he says up, if there's a guy up here, right? Look at that. Perfect angles on me. So I would stay right here and try to look up there. But you're gonna see.
I'm just right being right here.
I actually forgot. I did do that. So that was good on me. And you can see we get the sear low. So everything up until now has been good. This is the most common mistake that I make in my gameplay that I'm trying to fix, but it's not capitalizing on those advantages. So we've got the sear low. We don't know where any of the other teammates are, but what am I gonna do? I am running out into the open with no knowledge of where anybody else is. You know, I'm looking up there hoping he's going to repeak, but like he's not going to repeak. So I'm not really putting any extra pressure on him, which is what I need to be doing. I hear somebody right over in this area. And so immediately I tunnel vision on that sound. This is just so bad. Look at this position I'm in. I have zero cover anywhere. The seer could peek down and instantly fry me. And what do? I swing wide, having no idea. I think he's over here, but he's actually right here. I remember this caught me off guard, and you can see my aim. Look at this. It's totally all over the place, and I go back even more. The big mistake here is I'm just making gambling decisions without any information. I am basically running into this fight without a plan. We've gotten damage on the seer, and instead of trying to find another angle, if I were to replay this back, now that we have damage on the seer, what I would do if I were to play this back is I would wrap around left. I would go around left, play around these pills, try to go up and just force up that zip line. He's like 60 HP, and I would ping for my team. Okay, we've gotten one low. Let's try to finish that. Because if we get that down, we have a huge advantage now, and the fight is basically wraps. So I would just probably try to swing that. I have my Q, I have my ult, that is my job. And so I should go left and I should just swing. Not swing, right? Maybe I go left and I see his teammate trying to go up there and help him, which is what ended up happening. You see the drone came down from above. His teammate ended up going up there to help him. So maybe I go left and I actually see, oh, this guy's going up the zip to try to help his teammate, and I get another free beam. And then I comment to my teammates, oh my gosh, they're both low. Everybody take this zip and let's go wipe them out, right? Or I say, Pathfinder, you have your ult, let's ult up there. We could ult up right here and try to get angles on them. But I'm not thinking about that, because all I'm thinking about is, oh, I did damage to them, let's just go push. I'm just blindly gonna go push. And the problem with that is you get rid of your advantage. You totally get rid of your advantage. We can always talk about teammates making bad decisions, right? Because the seer did the same thing I did. He actually ends up going down, but you never blame your teammates. When you're trying to improve, you never blame your teammates. So that's not the point of this video. And he makes a good call. Now, they have the advantage. They've turned the fight around so fast. When I swung wide, I literally opened up the angle for all three of them to shoot at me. The height up here had angles down on me. All the ballistic had to do was go around this truck, and all of a sudden they are shooting me from here and up here. Now, I do the right thing here, and I'm just trying to play back, try to reset. Pathfinder's doing a really good job here. Pathfinder's doing a really good job here trying to hold them back. If you ever get a down, you want to try to trade that, or trade that down with the enemy team as they try to push you, or you want to try to reset as fast as you possibly can and just anchor your position. Pathfinder does a really good job at that. He's getting that, holding that angle that they could have pushed up on, and putting more pressure on them.
Which is good. Us, we need to stay alive.
I ignore the grenade because I don't think it's close enough. I anticipate them pushing up, and I just want to get out of that spot. They were just grenading that spot. I want to get out. I want to get to a better position where we have more angles. So I'm going to go back to this building right here. And I see this again. This is where the enemy team makes the exact same mistake I just made. Look at this. They're getting shot at by, do you see how fast they just died? This Axel completely threw for their team. Completely. They didn't think about their position at all. They were just like, oh, they're low, I'm just going to run up. It's not that simple. You can't just do that. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and it works out. But this was a complete throw for the Axel. So they're going to go down, and now they've lost the tempo because we have 3 guys up. Even though this guy's low, right, we've got 3 guys up, and they just got a guy down. And his teammates are nowhere nearby. That's why they've lost the tempo. He completely pushed up on his own, didn't communicate with his team at all, and now he's down and fully out of the game because I'm going to finish him here.
Nice, super huge. Please just stay alive, just stay alive. Play your life.
This is a good comm for me because I know now that we have the advantage. We just need to make sure that he stays alive, because if he goes down again, we lose the advantage. Notice he's going up there. Just kind of waiting for him, the seer, to heal up.
Fully heal up, fully heal up.
I hear a sliding down here to the right, so I'm going to kind of go back and try to angle that. And I hear another slide, and I hear the grenade. And this is a huge mistake.
There's more than one team.
I calmed that I think there's one more team. There is not another team here. There's no team. Watching this back, I don't think there was a single real indicator that there was another team. I heard the sliding, and I heard the grenade, and my brain panicked, and I literally just hallucinated another team. This is why playing with a confident mindset is so important, because we have 3 full guys up right now, and they have 2. Like, this should be a free fight. But because I'm playing scared, I end up IGLing for my team to leave this fight that we literally should be winning. And we are winning because I hallucinate a third party. And this is why it's so important to play confident, because if you play anxious and scared and passive, you're just giving up advantages. And I even let them beam me here because I'm just so afraid of the third party that doesn't exist. I get if I let him beam me. But that ends up being what happens. And you can see I'm looking back there and I'm actually in my head thinking like, I don't hear anybody. But the storm is coming in. I don't, this is another really, like, why am I fighting this? Like, what's the point? I've already calmed to my team that we should be rotating, but I'm going back. This indecisiveness is so bad. You're going to see this punish me later as well. If you say that you're going to do something, obviously, if you get new information that contradicts your current plan, you should change your mind. But when I say to my teammates, hey, we should rotate, me turning around in the middle of the open and shooting back does nothing for us. I'm basically taking a 50-50 1v1 and saying, hey, if you beam me, like, I'm giving this guy a free opportunity to beam me. If he was a better player, I could have been beamed right there, right? And here's another crossroads, again, where I kind of doubt myself. This one is a little more valid, but this is a kind of a hypothetical. I'm looking over here and I'm thinking, okay, we could go left over here. We could go left and rotate through this field and get in front of this team. But again, I think that could have worked. I really do. But the headspace I was in, I was scared. I really was. I was anxious and I was scared and I didn't want to die. And so you can see, again, I'm kind of doubting myself. I'm not really sure what to do, and I'm losing time. And this is the craziest part. Again, we have another chance. This is kind of what I'm thinking right here. I'm thinking this team was over here, right? We have a better position now. We have, like, height. But this is the problem. Look at that. Look where they're at. This is unpushable. If we try to go this way, they're going to get in front of us and hold that tunnel where they have a lot of cover. And at this point, I think this is a full team. I don't know why, but I think that's a full team. Also, okay, I think I missed it. I think it was right here. This is what I meant to talk about earlier that I missed. Look, this is what I meant to say. Look, they're literally rezzing their third right now. There was never a third party. I just fully hallucinated it, and I let them res their third. So they are fully reset now. I just let them reset for free. Huge mistake. And so this is a full team now. So this area is not really pushable, especially when we already have a free rotate into Skyhook up through this way. It makes no sense to contest the team over here at this weird choke point where they have more cover than we do. They have the high ground right now, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's not the safest option for actually, like, trying to win the game, which is what we want to do because we've already got some kills. So now we're just looting. This isn't really that important. You can hear a bunch of fighting in Skyhook. We can just assume most of those teams are going to be over there, and there's probably nobody in front of us. Don't hear anybody either. So right now I'm just looking. I wish I could have opened my map again, but basically right there, I was thinking about where we're gonna go, right? I don't know if you saw it watching the video, but a guy did just run up there. I did not see it. And right here, this is another terrible mistake. Look at what I'm doing here. Where am I going, right? Look at all, like, I have no idea where anybody is. We don't have a scan. I don't know where anybody is in any of these buildings. Look at all these buildings that have angles on, and I'm just running out into the open. And look at that. Boom. Gets a 50 tag on me with the wingman. Now, there's not much else to say on that other than if there had been more people, I could have just died right there, right? So I got lucky. But the point is, you don't want to rely on getting lucky in situations like that. That was really bad micro positioning. And I definitely should have either went up into that building and looked around, scanned for more teams, or, hugged some kind of cover as I'm going to walk up to this building here. But I didn't. And that allowed that dude to get a tag on me. It's kind of a bad grenade, but he's walking out here. I don't think in my head right there that I would really acknowledge that guy was a solo or was alone. But that is something to think about. That is something to be aware of when you're playing, is to just, like, think about what the enemy's doing. He gets scanned and he immediately runs. Okay, he's probably fully by himself. And he's probably extended away from his team. And you see how I kind of, like, peek into that room and clear? I don't think I knew that it was just one guy. I think I thought there might be other people in this building, and I didn't really process the fact that he just fully dipped away. And he ults right here. You see that? He does not want to be pushed. He is afraid of being pushed right now. Not a lot to talk about right here. We're in zone. We have a really great job Pathfinder getting that scan. And I think this next choice that I make is actually really good. I'm going to look at the map. I'm going to see two guys over here and everybody else kind of over here. And I realize, like, oh, all of this, if we clear these guys out who are by themselves, it's a duo, so we have the advantage, we get all this playable space. And that's what I'm thinking. I noticed them and I'm like, yeah, we need to go fight that. This is so bad though. What am I doing here? What is this angle? It's just not a good idea. It's just bad. It's a bad angle. And that's really the biggest thing. They could shoot us from here. I could at least queue in if I wanted to, right, to get across his space, but
Yeah,
it ends up being okay. And you know what? At the end of the day, there is a level where it's like you shouldn't necessarily nitpick about every little mistake, because I knew that they were fighting over here. I knew that it was pretty unlikely they were going to be looking over here this time, so I wasn't too worried about it. But it's still something I could have done differently. Either way, also right here, this is just what angle am I holding here, right? I could get shot from behind right now. I'm just playing kind of scared. No, I know that it's 2 people. I literally know it's 2 people. I should just go in and try to get it down. Really. Now, the seer just doesn't fight back, but you can see that team over there that we were just fighting at. You see how they just shot at me? Man, that rotate, that micro positioning over to this position, like the amount of times I was opening could have gotten beamed if they were looking, if they had noticed that we left. It's just bad. But this is good. I got the down, and I don't think I was thinking about this at the time, because if I was, I would have been full sending with my team. But there's literally 1 guy left. It's a 3v1. Good thing, I mean, it's just safe. Pop of the cell, you have overflow, get topped off. And now I'm like, okay, let's just go. They're rezzing, like, let's go. He gets the down, last guy's at 50 HP. And this is a good call from me. This is something I do all the time that is a big mistake, is I pathfind just like a straight line to the enemy, instead of thinking about how I can actually outmaneuver them. A lot, like, if I was not thinking, I would have just ran through the building to get to him. But I noticed that he's jumping down, and I'm like, oh, I'm outside. I can jump around and get an angle on him. And would you look at that? Perfect angle on him. I finished the kill. So I am happy with myself there. I think that was a really good decision to jump out of the building right there, and notice that he was running through that portal. That was good. Now from here on, the rest of the game is going to go really bad. So at this point, we have a really good spot. I mean, in this team, technically they could have pushed up, but we don't hear anything. They didn't. I feel comfortable rotating through there just because that team missed a lot of shots on me, and we had rocks to play around, so I don't think that was terrible. And I'm right here. I'm thinking, okay, we have all of this area right here. This is all ours, basically. And I want to kind of spread our team out to make sure that teams can't just walk up and take a building from us. You know, we want to secure this whole backside of zone, because we can't get flanked. It's impossible. There's nowhere for other teams to go. And I'm going to calm that here in a second. Right, this house is good, but we could also like have people over there as well. Yeah, because we don't want this team right here to come down and wrap around and pinch us, right? Now, this is what I don't necessarily agree with. You're going to see I start to get anxious because nothing's happening. And I start to peek out a lot and open myself up to a lot of angles. I'm going to break this window, try to look out. No, I don't see anybody peeking out again. I just think this is pointless, right? I have a hemlock. I know that my recoil control isn't good enough to really get a super solid beam. And even if I do, what's the point, right? So I just feel like a lot of this is not really necessary, at least to the extent that I'm exposing myself. This is good. I like that I'm rotating over here into this building. And this is, I also see people walking up. That's good that I'm taking angles. But now this is not what I'm happy with. I know that he has a 30-30, and I know that there's 2 people over there. So what do I do? Good that I heal up, but I fully re-peeked the angle again. I got lucky they weren't looking at me. This is also, if you don't do this, you should. Especially in the end games, just like these insanely hard to hit jiggle peaks. Like, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But again, look at this position I'm in, right? Like, where am I going? And because of that, I'm getting hit. And look at this. Like, I'm just ego-challenging this guy who has a 30-30. If he hits a headshot on me and like a body shot, like I'm at like 40 HP. That gives him a free opportunity to push us. This is just really stupid. Because I can't really contest this guy like that. Also, it's a 50-50. The reason that this is so bad is because we have an advantage right now. They have to worry about us. They have to worry about the people behind them. They have to worry about the people on height. They're actively looking to rotate over here. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about what they want to do. I'm just thinking about, oh, I want to deal damage. I want to kill them, right? They want to come to us, but they have to worry about a lot more things than we do. We have the advantage. By peeking this window and giving them an opportunity for a 50-50, except it's really not. They actually have, that seer has an advantage because he has a 30-30 and I have a hemlock, right? He can do a lot more damage to me than I can do to him pretty easily. I am giving this team an opportunity to change the tide of the fight. And you can see it's a headshot on me right there. And I'm just like wasting my heals. I've only got 3 cells left. This is just not good. Running back, I don't really, good. I guess good to get some cells, right? Again, what is this? I'm right now in the open. I noticed that they're coming down here, and I'm just like scared, man. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm like, what is this angle here? What is this positioning? I'm fine. Nobody punishes me for that. But the team, they walk up. Because I 50-50'd that guy and he got damage on me, that allowed them to walk up into this building. and they're going to get more damage on me. Now, this is where things are going to get really bad, and this is not really my fault. You could argue that it is because I let them walk up, but right here, the Seer is going to get Kraber, and they ping him. They throw, look at that, they're throwing all these tacks. Like, they want to push us bad off of that. You can hear them sliding up right there. I hear the Maggie ball. This is where I make a huge mistake. I think trying to revive right here was just a dumb idea because I knew that this team was going to try to push up off of that down. But I didn't try to take any type of position to really put pressure on them and prevent them from doing that. And I basically choreographed exactly what they thought I was going to do and just made it even easier for them to push up. What I should be doing here is trying to put myself into a position to turn the fight around, right? And you're going to see I don't do that at all. Right here, this is such a crucial moment for this fight because the Pathfinder is looking at him and he's looking at me, which means we have an advantage over this guy. This guy technically overextends a little bit, and I think we could have actually downed him right here. But you can see I am panicking. I'm trying to run. But here's the problem with running. We are in top 6. Where am I going to go? Right? It's a pretty stacked end game. There's probably people in every single one of these buildings. Where am I going to go? What is the point? There's no point. At this point of the game, you can't run. You have to just try to turn the fight around. There's nothing else you can do. This is a huge misplay for me. What I really need to be doing is trying to play as much as I can with the Pathfinder here and trying to punish as much of the enemy's aggression as possible because there's no running from this. We just have to hope that we can outplay them, really. But I'm not looking to do that. I'm scared. So I run down here. I don't really know. I'm like half kind of trying to get an angle, and I end up just taking a 1v1 here. And then I'm fully dipping. And by this point, I mean, it's over. Me and the Pathfinder are fully split. If you look, he cracked the Seer. He's cracked the Maggie. If I had stayed with him, we surely down the Maggie. And then he cracks the Seer. And look even further. He downs him. He actually gets a down. Like, this Pathfinder is the GOAT. He was actually putting in work. He cracked one and downed one. So at this point, if I had just stayed up there with the Pathfinder and played positioning instead of freaking out, holding the stairwell, holding that power position that they have to run up, right? I think we could have, like, there was a possibility that we win this fight. But at this point, look at him. He's 1 HP. I am nowhere near him to help. It's a 2v1. It's over. And this team isn't super core. Like, they're definitely, I would say, a 3 stack because they're all playing together. They're all pushing at once, but they're not, like, stupid coordinated, right? Like, they didn't all push the Pathfinder at once. Pathfinder gets out. They kind of let him get out, and they unfortunately get the down there on him, trying to hold him. And there's nothing else to really analyze at this point. Like, I've totally set our team up for failure here. And the rest of this game is just me trying to rat, and I die. So there's just not, I mean, I'm ratting here, and there's, I mean, look at this. There's nowhere for me to go, right? There's a team still up there. There's a team over where I just was. I have to go through this open courtyard. Like, there's nothing left. Right? I just slid, like, they probably heard that. Now that I think about it, maybe I could have hit that crafter. There might have been time. I peek over the edge. They just saw me at the top. And yeah, I mean, there's no point, right? Because it's over. So that is why it is so important to play aggressively and play confidently. Not even necessarily aggressively, but you have to know when you have to be smart enough and aware enough to know when you have advantages and when you don't, and make your decisions off of that. Because even though we had a teammate downed, we actually still had some advantages, right? We had the upstairs, that Maggie pushed up where me and the Path were both looking at her. Like, we could have gotten it down there, instantly turned the fight around, instantly. And I just didn't, you just don't notice because you're panicking. You're not paying attention. So maintaining awareness, maintaining being calm, playing confidently, those are so important. Those are the hallmarks of a really good player. Basically, this game is a really good lesson on the power of putting yourself in a position to create an advantage. That is what the enemy team did. They capitalized.